Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Norman Guy of the North, and today we're diving, well, literally, into a full breakdown of the American Tier 6 Tech Tree submarine, the Cachalot. This is your starting point for the American subline in World of Warships, and while she might look like a basic boat at first glance, there's a lot of depth, pun intended, to her playstyle. If you're interested in the strong alpha strikes, fast homing torpedoes, and learning how to play American submarines the right way, then stick around. Now, before we dive into the gameplay, let's take a quick look at the real-world inspiration behind the submarine. The USS Cachalot SS-170 was a U.S. Navy V-boat or Victor boat commissioned in 1933. She was the first American sub to be equipped with the brand new state-of-the-art Mark I torpedo data computer and played a vital role actually in World War II. Cachalot completed 3 war patrols in the Pacific and operated out of Pearl Harbor and the Aleutians before being shifted to a training role. She was decommissioned in 1945 and unfortunately scrapped in 1947, but her legacy lives on in World of Warships, and she also has 3 battle stars. Cachalot is a homing torpedo-only sub that introduces players to damage-focused American submarine playstyle. She boasts bow and stern tubes, 4 and 2 each respectively, and respectable reloads and deadly torpedo alpha. But don't let that firepower fool you. Her survivability and utility are very lacking, so you'll need to play with precision and patience. With 14,000 HP and only 16mm of armor across the board, Cachalot is not built to take hits or brawl. If you are spotted on the surface or caught by ASW, you're going to melt fast and most likely be going back to port. Now, that said, her 430-meter turning circle and 4.9-second rudder shift make her very maneuverable. Just be aware that her surface concealment is 6.4. That's on the high side for submarines, so destroyers in your matchmaking bracket will see you before you see them. Now, surface speed is a decent 27 knots, but underwater she crawls at just only 13 knots. You're not outrunning much while submerged. Her dive capacity is 170 units at base with a 1 per unit second recharge and depletion. That gives you almost 3 minutes of submersible time, standard for the tier. But with no additional boost mechanics, you must manage it carefully and critically. This is where the Cachalot earns her keep. First of all, she's got 4 bow tubes, 2 stern tubes. Her torpedo reload time is 42 seconds, which is very good. Range of the torps are 10 kilometers. The speed is a blistering 86 knots. However, max damage is only 7,833 per torpedo, but she does have a 31.5% flood chance. If all 4 bow torps connect, that's over 31,000 damage in one strike. Her torpedoes arm quickly and travel fast, making her capable of both long-range harassment and devastating shotgun attacks from 3.1 to 4 kilometers out. Okay, Cachalot consumables runs. First of all, you got damage control party. You got 3 charges, 21-second duration, solid but very limited. Hydrophone, 8-kilometer range. That's outstanding at this tier. 30-second activation, 60-second cooldown. Submarine surveillance, only 6-kilometer range. Weak against subs like in her class U69 or the S1 with 9-kilometer detection. Enhanced rudder gears, fast dive and ascend speeds, great for shotgun attacks and evasion. It also helps your rudder time shift. Alright, let's dig into Cachalot's gameplay, and this is where the fun really begins. At her core, Cachalot is a long-range harassment sub with surprisingly close-range punch. She's not about finesse or utility, she's about landing torps fast and often. Now, what's the long-range torpedo play? Use her sonar to ping from 9 to 10 kilometers out, poke and prod the flanks, remember not the middle, target distracted battleships or ships pushing lanes alone, fire 2 torpedoes, wait a few seconds, then fire the other 2 to catch ships that have already DCP'd under the first ping. And trust me, the average battleship player at that tier does that all the time. If you're patient, this pattern will focus enemy DCP and set up follow-up floods. Her fast torps and short reload let you keep constant pressure on enemy ships, especially cruisers and battleships that don't turn fast and are not paying attention. Now, use islands to hide and pop your hydro when you're unsure about surfacing. Remember, like I always say, you come to the surface, that's your greatest thing you should be doing. Keep repositioning. Cachalot is not stealthy, so avoid camping. She shines when circling open water or flanking wide. Okay, time for my favorite. Shotgunning method, 3.1 kilometers to 4 kilometers out, and the donut strike. This is the signature Cachalot move when you're feeling aggressive, and it works beautifully thanks to her bow and stern tubes. If you're new to subs, Don't do this. Wait till you learn how to do this. First off, approach to just beyond 3.1 to 4 kilometers while undetected at periscope depth. Remember, you have limited battery, okay? 2, double ping your target for maximum homing efficiency. 3, fire all 4 bow tubes. If they hit, that's over 31,000 damage. Okay, 4, immediately begin a tight turn, a donut maneuver. Now this is essential. If that battleship's in front of your bow and it's going from right to left across the screen, you want to now make a left-hand turn. If it's going from left to right, you want to make a right-hand turn. Don't forget, you should be on the flank. You should have the broadside of the battleship or cruiser you're doing this with. You want to turn with them so that we still try to keep as much broadside as possible, or seeing as much broadside as possible. As you come around, line up the stern tubes and fire the 2 rear torpedoes for an extra about 15,000 K of punishment. 6, dive and disengage. Use enhanced rudder shift gears and in terrain, if possible, you'll deliver your package. Now vanish like you were never there. Remember, the number 1 key, don't get spotted. This combo can delete low health cruisers and cripple destroyers, or even battleships. Just be mindful of your dive capacity and don't get caught trying to do this twice in a row. You want to recharge the batteries, come back in. Now, versus submarines, her short-range submarine surveillance puts her at a disadvantage, if I'm being honest, in direct subduels. However, her long damage control party duration allows her to survive homing torpedoes long enough to strike back. If you're proactive, fire first, you often win. But if the enemy sub spots you first, it's time to DD them out of there and get the heck out of there. Time to relocate and do it fast. Okay, here's a 21-point captain build to maximize your efficiency. First point skills, liquid air, plus 30% flood chance, no brainer. Helmsman, faster rudder and dive plane shift with hydrophone use when you get spotted. When I use the hydrophone or I've screwed up, I want to get down. It gives you that extra 10% to actually do your rudder shifts and your extra dive panels. Priority target, know who's aiming at you. It's key. 2-point skills, preventive maintenance, keeps all the vital systems alive, long enough to help you get down and back on the way and get the heck out of there. Now, consumable enhancement, plus 5 to all consumable duration. It's a wonderful skill. 3-pointer, most useful skill, watchful, radar and hydro warning system. It tells you what's above you and below you to make sure you understand you don't go into the danger zone. You don't want to be Tom Cruise or Maverick. Consumable specialist, minus 15% cooldown and prep times on everything. 4-point skills, adrenaline rush, boost reload when your HP is low. Adrenaline rush is a key captain skill. And last one, enlarged propeller shaft, plus 18% speed under 50% dive capacity. Perfect for tactical retreats. You're going to be using this and you're going to see it all the time. You will be below 50% a lot of the time. Now, Cachalot is a sleeper gem at Tier 6. She punishes poor positioning with relentless torpedoes, and her rear launchers add to fun layers of tactical play. She's also fragile and less stealthy than higher tier subs. She's got the donut maneuver. Now, what's good? High torpedo alpha. What else is good? Rapid reload. Flexible attack options with bow and stern tubes. What's bad? Super high concealment, if you want to even call it concealment. Poor submarine detection, another bad one. And of course, limited dive endurance. If you love high-risk, high-reward ambushes and want to learn the fundamentals of American sub-gameplay, Cachalot is a perfect sub to start with. Hey, thanks for watching. If this video helped you understand Cachalot, please drop a like, comment your favorite shotgun and ambush moments, and always subscribe for more submarine reviews and tactics during Submarine Month. As always, take care, stay safe. I wish you all the best. Bye for now.